We are back for video number 2, our second project this morning, and another treat holder. So Judy made a comment. I know she's not really big on Halloween, and so just wanted to kind of let you know that you could certainly make that first project and substitute some Christmas paper or fall paper and use those for different holidays, that treat holder, because it is really versatile as far as what it holds. I think that would be very cute on your Thanksgiving table. As a little takeaway, and you could also do those at Christmas time. So we'll give a little time for you guys to hop back on. We have neighbors mowing, and the trains have gone back and forth, so I'll just apologize ahead of time for the racket today, and we're just going to move forward. Donna's back, and Judy's back. I'm glad you're not having to clean house today, Judy. So I have to tell you guys, I've been really focused on fall projects, and this week I've shared a lot of the fall projects that team members made for our creative challenge. And when I got up this morning, I was standing in the kitchen and I saw a couple of leaves fall. So it's working. It's really cool out today. What's the temperature? Do you know, Dale? Like 60?
That's right.
69 or so this morning when we got up. So we just have to keep thinking fall. It's working. Becky's back and Cassandra's back. So let's go ahead and get started with our next project. I wanted to show you too that I have the September sampler ready, and I know I'll kind of have to move this around a little bit so that you can see it. But each month we have a sampler class, and it includes product. And this month there's some designer series paper from this suite, some of the ribbon and embellishments, those iridescent pearls. So we usually hold this class in person, but with the pandemic we've been doing a virtual sampler class, and I do a PDF tutorial that walks you step by step with color photos. So those that have done the class, if you'll kind of give us some feedback, but I think it's pretty easy to put the sampler together. And we have everything prepped for you for the squares, and then you just put it together. This month is the cutoff is a little bit earlier than what I normally do, and the reason for that is I want to be able to order the product and then get it to you so that you have time to put your sampler together and display it throughout October. So I'll bring this a little bit closer, but I did choose to use a piece of the Pretty Peacock paper as the background, and then Cajun Craze and black mats. So you do have the bat, and then we also did a moon again. There's a couple with spiders. You can see that we've used those iridescent pearls. Now we put spooky with our ghosts, but this can be customized if you want to change what you want on your sampler. I think my favorite square that I designed is this little open if you dare that looks like a package. So it's just a fun way to kind of show the different papers and supplies in a suite. You know, people have been doing samplers for a long time with embroidering and quilt squares and that type of thing. So it's a fun way to have a little decorative art piece that you've created. And the class does not include the frame, but we've been able to find frames. I know Hobby Lobby will have sales, and you can use coupons. You can use it in a shadow box. So they're really fun projects. Just want to make sure that you know that today is the cutoff so that I can get that product ordered, and it's $32 for the class, which includes your shipping. And we are going to be making this little project next. It's another treat holder. I think at Halloween we give lots of treats, and this would be really fun for friends and relatives and co-workers as well. I did a couple different colors of the designer series paper, but it's basically the same little treat holder. It's, again, almost like a little box. And what's neat about this is when you pull the ribbon, your treat comes out. So they're able just to take their treat out, and then you can push that back down. And same thing with this one. This is the one we're actually going to recreate today with that pretty ribbon. So I thought this was really fun, and it's another easy project that doesn't take a lot of supplies. You're actually able to get 5 of the holders, the cardstock part, out of one piece of cardstock. And so that makes it really nice. And I'll give you some measurements. Let me move these over to the side. Let me grab my measurements so I can tell you on the cardstock. Let's see, it is 8.5 inches by 2 inches, and then it's scored at 4 inches and 4.5. And the designer series paper is 5.5 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And then it is also scored, and like I said, we'll do a PDF, but it's scored at 1.5, 1 3/4, 3 3/4, and 4 1/4. So we do have a couple of these cut this morning. Trying not to lose my supplies here. And they're cut from basic black cardstock. So once you have this piece cut and scored, then you're going to use a tag topper punch at both ends. And I have this tag topper punch. I think we've got a couple in the catalog right now. It really does not matter what tag topper punch you use. You just want to be able to have like either a slot or a hole at the top to run those ribbons through. Let's grab our bone folder, crease on those score lines, 4 and 4.5. So that's how you get your little box. So super easy so far, right? And then we're also going to crease on these score lines for the designer series paper. And we chose to use papers that are not directional, which makes it, to me, a lot easier when you're putting these projects together. You get a lot more from your paper that way, but you would want to be mindful of which way the design of your paper goes if you're using a pattern paper, that makes a difference. So now you're going to just line up on the front of your treat holder, and I like to come about 1/4 inch from the bottom, so I kind of turned it upside down. And I'm going to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus. You want a strong adhesive for this because this is an interactive project. You know that they're going to be taking that treat in and out. That's one of those things that I can't help myself. I just have to keep pulling it in and out, messing with it. Line that up a little bit better. And I'm just going to put that on with a little bit of a border down there at the bottom, if I can get everything lined up right. And then that's just going to come around. It doesn't feel like I have that scored exactly right. Well, my cardstock may be just a little bit bigger than 2, but we're going to make it work. So then you're going to put just a little bit of adhesive here on this flap. And I just kind of hold my hand inside the treat holder and lay that score line down because you want to leave room for your treat. And the same thing on this side, a little bit. And just wrap that around, leaving room for your treat and lining up your designer series paper on the back. So that makes your little box. Okay, pretty easy so far, right? Then we are going to use some of that beautiful ribbon again. And I've got my grid paper down at the bottom. I know y'all probably can't see that, but I'm going to use about 16, 18 inches. You want to make sure that there's plenty so that you can tie your bow at the top. And Dale's grabbing us a piece of candy to go inside. This time we are using the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, but I'm sure there's other treats that would fit just fine. So we're pulling it all the way through and just kind of getting those tails even. So now you open that up a bit and you put your Reese's Peanut Butter Cup in. It pulls the ribbon down. You want to push it all the way to the bottom. And we'll go ahead and tie our bow at the top here. So again, it comes together really quick. Not a lot of supplies, but it's such a cute way to present a treat for somebody. It's probably a little bit too much ribbon. I got it off just a little bit, so let's trim this edge. Okay.
Becky's not liking spiders.
Becky's not liking spiders. I saw your comment earlier, Becky, about not wanting spiders for Happy Mail. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do for Happy Mail. I may trim this down just a little bit more, both of those. That was a pretty good size bow. You could certainly go back, this is spider paper, but you could use the bat paper. That would be really cute too, or the rose paper. Okay, so next what we need is another little piece of ribbon, and I did the same thing as I did on that first treat holder. Just a little piece, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and you're just going to kind of distress those edges where it really looks like spider web. This ribbon is so pretty, so fun to use too. And we'll bring in another glue dot. And we stamped, I don't know why we stamped a bunch of spiders the other day when I was working on this, but we've got extra spiders already. So just place that here. And again, you could use different supplies and make this into a fall treat holder. You could also, so there's a spider we already had ready. You could make this into a Christmas treat holder. Either way, it would work. So we need to do a little bit of stamping. That's our spider stamp. We don't need him. We're going to use some Blackberry Bliss. And we've got the Trick or Treat stamp. So this is just a little scrap of Whisper White. It's actually the thick Whisper White that I grabbed. So you just need a little scrap for your little greeting for your Trick or Treat holder. Then I'm going to use the Classic Label Punch. This is a great one to have for those smaller sentiments. And this Trick or Treat barely fits, but it works. So we're going to get that lined up. And then I did go ahead and use my sponge dauber that has the black ink on it. And I'm not even adding any more ink. I'm just kind of using what was left in the dauber, because I thought that was just a little bit too white on that background. So we want it to look a little bit spooky. So just a little bit of ink there. And then we're going to put this right up here at the top of our treat holder. So let me find my liquid glue. We'll just put a little bead there. So you have to let me know which of these treat holders you like better. I may make kind of a mixture to take to work, but it's always fun to lay those on people's desks. Just a little surprise, a little something. I think Halloween, didn't we figure out it falls on a Saturday this year? I think so. We'll take them a little bit early. Now we're going to grab a Stampin' Dimensional, one of the black Stampin' Dimensionals, and put it on our spider. Fits pretty good on his little body. I guess it's a girl, isn't it? And we'll pop that on, a little piece of web. And here's where we want to use our iridescent pearls, just to add a little bit. Find my Take Your Pick tool. Remember that you want to get up underneath your pearls and make sure you pick up that adhesive backing there. So we'll put a couple, let's put 3. I don't know if I can get one to come up there. It stuck to my finger. Put one up here. And we'll do one more. Kind of come up underneath the web here.
Donna says she's already cut and scored 14 of the first holder.
You've already made a bunch of those, LaDonna? Yeah, they're great for at work. And I know that you like to give people little treats at work, so they'll like that. And this one's really easy too. So there we go. I've already got 3 made for work. So that's our second project. And like I said, we will post the PDF with all of the dimensions and score lines, but another easy project with not a lot of supplies. Becky, sub out a bat or a cat.
Yeah.
We have a cat punch. You could even put a little black cat on the front. So there's lots of things you could do. You could put that moon, if you really like the moon, you could do that with a little tree branch or a little owl. So just look through your supplies and see what you have, because you could decorate these so many different ways. All right, we'll be back at 11 o'clock with a card, and I think it's a really pretty Halloween card. And then directly after that demonstration, we'll be showing you, or we'll be working through our mystery stamping. Let us know if you have any questions about those clues, and be sure to get your supplies ready. You want to grab, Phil, that I do have a bolt of ribbon that's going to be a prize for anyone that puts a comment on any of the videos. I have an extra bolt of this metallic ribbon. So I'm going to give a prize away this time, choosing from those that place a comment. So thanks for participating. And I'll do that drawing probably Tuesday evening. Yes, maybe Tuesday evening about 6 p.m. I'll announce the winner of that, and then also mystery stamping. So I know LaDonna said she's already starting to make some of these treat holders. I will post the virtual swap thread, and you can put anything that you're working on this week there, so we can admire your handiwork. And if you recreate a project, definitely put a picture there. And here comes another train. So we'll sign off for now, and we'll be back at 11.
Sandra says she's